we'll be drawing the third angle projection of the isometric picture on the screen. And I did a rough sketch of the isometric picture here. This is just a rough sketch, okay? So we'll be drawing the third angle projection of these isometric pictures. So of this isometric what? Picture. So I'll be using this one to explain to you step by step in this class. All right, first thing you need to do whenever you have to draw an orthographic is to draw a horizontal line and also draw a vertical line like this, which will be 90 degrees to this horizontal line. So I've already drawn the horizontal line using my T-square. So let's draw the vertical line, which is let's draw a straight vertical line. This is the middle line. It has to be bold. It must be bold. So from this middle line, I will need to take 10 millimeter up, 10 millimeter down, 10 millimeter up, 10 millimeter down, draw a construction line. And likewise, this 10 millimeter right, 10 millimeter left, 10 millimeter right, 10 millimeter what? Left. And do what? Draw a construction what? Line. So let's do that. So from here to here is 10 millimeter. And from here to here is what? 10 millimeters. Okay. Then let's do the same thing here. From here to here is 10 millimeters. And from here to here is 10 millimeters. Okay. So let's do the same thing here. From here to here is 10 millimeters. This is 10 millimeters. And this is also 10 millimeters. So let's do the same thing here. Ten millimeters, 10 millimeters. So we need to join them with a construction line. Let's join them together with a what? With a construction line. Or let me use this to join them together. Let me use the ruler to join them together. It's a construction line. Okay, so let's join them together here. All right, so that is our construction line. The middle one has to be bold, while the construction line must be what? Must be thin. All right, so now I used to use a rule. What's the rule that I usually use? That now I want to draw. Why draw a third angle projection? Our front view will be here. Our front view will be here. Our top view will be here. While our side view will be here. Front view, top view, side view. So our front view is where the arrow is pointing at. That will be our front view, where the arrow is pointing at. So the arrow is pointing at this point. So this will be our front view. Then if I turn to the other side, this will be our side view. Then this will be our top view. So our front view will be what? It will be here. Front view, it will be here. Okay. So this is top view, and this is side view. All right. So now to draw the front view, if you are looking at this isometric picture, to draw the front view, looking at this isometric picture, what can you see? Suppose you are standing like this. What can you see? I usually use one trick, and the trick is What are those things? What are those parts that are facing you? Those parts that are facing you. If you are standing here now, what are those parts that are facing you? You see that this part, this space here is facing you. This one here is facing you. This one here is doing two things. It's facing you, and at the same time, it's also facing this side. So, and this, can you see this line? Can you see this line? So this, the one here, this place here, this place here is also facing you. So this place, the one here, this one, this, and this, those are the parts that are what? These are the parts that are facing you. So let's draw that. And to do that, so we'll be drawing our front view here. What is the distance, I mean the height of this block? The height from here up is given to be 30 millimeters. From here up is given to be 30 millimeters. So I'll come down by 30 millimeters here, which will be the height. Okay. Then what is the length? The length, to get the length with from here to here is 60. But mind you, this 60, it covers from here. Now, if you trace this part, it's not from here. Oh. It's not from here to here. It is from here to here, which means this part like this. If you bring out this part out, you can see that it's from here to here. And here is not to the end. It doesn't stop, it doesn't reach the end. It's just like from here to the middle of this part, to the middle like this, to the middle. So from this middle, we still have an extension line from this middle to the end, from this middle to the end. So to get the total length, we already know that from this point to the end here, to the end here, you know, this is the end, is 60. Then we need to know the extension from the middle. That is, I told you that this 50 stop at the middle here. So from this middle line to the end, what is the extension? What is distance from here to here that we need to add to know where it's end here? So we need to know that from here to here, we're told that this arc has a diameter of what? Has a diameter of 30. So the radius will be what? The radius of this arc is what? 15, which means that from this midpoint to this point is the radius. So which is what? 15. So what I'm going to do is that it will from here to here, that is from here to the middle now, is what? Is 60. 60 plus 15, which is the extension, is given to be what? Is given to be 75, which means that the total distance from this beginning point here to the end, to the overall end here is what? Is 75. So I will come down 30 millimeters, then come here by what? 75 millimeters. So 30, 75. So let's do that. Let's measure 30. From 1 to 4 here is what? This is it. You can see that this is it. So that is 30 millimeters. Okay. So having gotten that, so we can just place our T square here, draw a straight line, a straight vertical line. You need to draw a straight vertical line. Let's make it a construction line first. So from this line, I will need to measure what? 75 millimeters, as I've said. But because I'm starting from 1, because I start from 0 to this point now, it would have been 75. But because I'm starting from 1, so it will be at this point. So that is our 75 millimeters. Then, having gotten that, let me just try to, so let's draw that. Then to do that, I can make this line bold. This line, because it's the part we need, I will make this line bold. Then I would, this one here, I will need to join. You know, we're told that if from this middle to this end is 15, from this middle to this end is 15, I'll make this line bold, which means I'll make this one bold. So from here to here now is what? Since from this middle to this end is 15, then from here to here will be what? From here to here, it will be what? It's 18. You can see the dimension here. 18 what? Millimeters. It's 18 millimeters. That, what that means is that from this point to this end is 15, and from here to here we're given to be 18. What that means is that from here to here is what? 18 plus 15. That is 33 millimeters. So let's measure 33 here. 33 millimeters. 1, 10, 20, 30, 31, 32, 33. This is 33. Okay. All right. Then you can just try to make it. Then from that point, we need from that point you need to draw a straight line downward like this. So let's do that. Okay. Now the distance from here to here is given to be what? Now, if from the base to the top here, from the base, the height is given to be 30 millimeters, then this thickness is 6. So if I subtract 6 from 30, that will be 24, which means that from here to here is what? 24. So let's measure out 24 millimeters. So from here to here is 10, 20. This is 24 here. So that is 24 here. So that is 24. Then from that point, a certain line went inward like this. So let's draw that line. Okay. Now, the distance from here to here, we need to know the distance from here to here. Now, to know the distance from here to here, or another thing we could also do is that from this end now, which represents the 75 millimeters there. So let me draw from this end. From this end, let me draw a straight line upward. It represents this end, so I will draw a straight line upward. Now, the way this one look bent like this, it will not look bent. It will look as if this one, this box here, this box here, it will look as if the box looks straight like this, which make the continuation of this line. Okay, it will look as if it looks straight like this, which makes the continuation. So from this end, which represent this end, I will go up. That is from here to here, which is the same thing as this line. So I will go up to touch that line. All this line we are drawing, we can draw it to the other side, to reach the other side, to make the work more easier for us, to make it more easy. Okay, let me extend this too. Okay, now this end, it represents this end, this end. So from this end to this end, we're told that it's what? 9 millimeters. So I'll measure 9 millimeters. I'll also draw a straight line which represents this thickness. So let's do that. So from here to here is 10, but from here to here is 9. So we can see that. We can draw a straight line. So let's draw a straight line. Okay. Now let's form this shape out. Let's form it out. From here to here is same thing as from here to here. So I will make it bold. From here to here, from here to here, I will make it bold. I will make this line at the base. This whole line from here to here, I will make it bold. Then I'll also make this one bold. I'll make it bold. So let's make it bold to form out, to form the shape. Okay. Let's try to form the shape out. Let's form it out. Okay, now this line, this line here represent this line. Why this one represent this? Because I also told you that this space is also facing here. So, and two more things to do is that, one, I will need to draw this one too. I also told you that this one is also facing you. So this one, that this line that's there, it will look as if you extend it to this point. Can you see what is going on? Which you then join from this point till where this point reach. It will look as if it joined from this point to this point together. Do you understand that? This one that is there, because I also told you that you'll be seeing this one, you'll be seeing this space here. So it will look as if you drag it to this surface, joining this at this point together. So I will draw a line like this to connect them together. Okay. So one more thing to draw is that, now from this middle, let's try to get this middle line. I mean the middle of this arc. Let's try to get it. So from here to the middle is 18. So that is from here to the middle is 18. Let's get the middle. The reason why we want to get the middle is that, this circle, it went inside, deep inside. So you will not be able to see this circle if you are standing here, but you'll be seeing something like a transparent. It will look as if the circle is transparent. You'll not be able to see it. You know that there's a circle. So we are going to represent it with a broken lines. So that is why let's try to get the middle first. This is the middle. So from here to the middle is 18 millimeter. Let's get the middle. Then 15. This is 18. Okay. So that is the middle line. That is the middle. So let me draw a construction line to touch this part. So from that middle this line I draw here, it represent the middle. So that is the middle like this. Now from that middle, this circle has a radius of what? 75 and 7.5 millimeters. So the diameter will be what? The diameter will be 15 millimeters. So from this middle, I'll measure 7.5 here, 7.5 here, then represent with a broken lines. I told you that if you are looking at it from here, you will not see the circle, but you see it as a what? As a transparent line. So from this point now, which represent the middle, 7.5 here, 7.5 here, then represent with a broken lines. So let's do that. This 5, 6, 7, this 7.5. That is 7.5. So 5, 6, 7, this 7.5. So you can just try to do the same thing here. 5, 6, 7, this 7.5. 5, 6, 7, this 7.5. So you can represent with a broken line. Join them together with a broken line. So let's join this and this with a broken line. Okay, so that is for the front view. So now let's draw the top view before we come to the side view. The top view, let's draw the top view when you are looking at it from the top. So looking at it from the top, you'll be able to see what are those parts that will be facing you. If you are standing at the top now looking at it, everything here is looking up. This one here is looking at this side, it's not looking up, but this one here is looking up, this one here is looking up, and the space here too is also looking what, up. So those are those parts, these are the parts that are doing what, that are looking up, upward. So to do that, now we need to draw, we need to measure from here. We already know that from here, from the beginning here to the end is given to be 75, which represents from here to here, and which represent this line to the end line here. You can see the benefit of drawing this line up, which represent from this line to the end line here, which is what, 75 millimeters. Then we need to know that from now, if you have viewed from the top, from here to here, what is the diameter? The thickness from here to here is given to be what, a 30 millimeters, which means that the thickness too here, the thickness here is also 30 millimeters. It's 30 millimeters. How to prove from here that it's also 30 millimeters is that from here to here is 9, from here to here is what, is 12. So if from here to here is 9, you know what is here is exactly what is also here. So that is from here to the end here too is also 9. So what that means is that 9 plus 12 plus 9. Okay, 9 plus 9 will give us 18. 18 plus 12 will give us what? 30, which means that from this beginning here to the end, the thickness is what? 30, 30. Okay, so we are going to measure 30 millimeter upward here. That is from this construction line. We measure 30 millimeter upward, draw a line. Measure 30 millimeter from this point upward like this. You know, we want to draw it like this. So from here to here, 30 millimeter, then draw a line. The line will represent all this line downward. 30 millimeter, then draw a line. Okay, so let's do that. Because I'm starting from 1, so it should be at 4 here. Okay, okay, I hope you can see that. So from that point, let's draw a line to this side. Let's make it a construction line first. Okay, so from that line, what can we see? We need to get this point. Why do we need to get this point? One, we need to draw this circle. If we can get this point, we need to draw this circle and then draw this arc. So to get this point now, what is this point? Do you remember a line I drew earlier, which is this line, which represent the point? Okay, so now from this point, since from here to here is 30 millimeters, then if I measure from here to the middle, it will represent the middle of this point, which is what, 15 millimeters. So I will need to measure 15 millimeters there, draw a line like this. So let's measure out 15 millimeters. So this is 15 millimeters. Okay, 15 millimeters. All right, so let's draw a line to pass through the middle. Okay, let's draw a construction line. Okay, so that is the construction line. Now this middle here now, because you remember when I draw this middle, while I was trying to explain this, and I draw a line like this, which represent this middle, so it is still that same line. It's represent the middle here. And you can also prove that by saying, okay, you want to measure from here to here, which is what, 15 millimeters, because the radius, if the diameter is 30, the radius will be 15, which means from here to the middle is 15. So if you measure from here to here, it will be automatically 15, 15, 15. So we have gotten the middle now. Now, since we have gotten the middle, let's draw this circle inside. So this circle inside has a radius of 7.5 millimeters. So let's measure out 7.5 millimeters and draw that circle. Okay, so let's draw the circle. Okay, so that is it. All right, then we need to measure a, because we were told that this one has we only draw this arc. We only draw this one. So, but we're told that it has a diameter of what? A diameter of 30. So we need to measure the radius to be what? To be 15 millimeters. And mind you, it's not a complete circle. It's just from ear to ear, which means from ear to ear. So we need to measure 15 a diameter of what? A diameter of 15 millimeters. And if you don't want to measure that diameter, if you don't want to do that, you can also place it here. Here is also automatically 15 millimeters. Is automatically 15 millimeters. If you don't want to measure that, you can just place it here, then join it with this. It is automatically 15 millimeters. Okay. And if you want to measure that, you can also measure that. Okay. So mm, sorry for the this thing. Okay. Let me use this. Okay. Good. All right. Then you can also see that there's a line from ear to ear and another line from ear to ear, which represents the line from ear to ear from ear to ear, which is 18 what? Millimeters. So we can let's make it bold. All right. Then you will see that at this point now, so we need to get this line. But to get this line, we need to know the middle. The middle is what? This is the line that represents the middle. So from that middle, we're told that the thickness of this line is 7. So from that middle, I measure 3.5 here, 3.5 here, which will give us what? 7. So let's do that. 1, 2, 3. This is 3.5. 1, 2, 3. This is 3.5. So let's just do the same thing here. Let's do the same thing here. Let's measure out 3.5, 3.5. 1, 2, 3. This 3.5. 1, 2, 3. This is also 3 point. This 3.5. Okay. So since we have gotten that, let's draw this line. This line. Okay. Let's draw it. Let it reach here because the line reach the end here. So we let it reach here. Okay. So let's draw the two lines. Okay. Now we have gotten the line. You will see that from this point, since we have from this point, which represent this point, a certain line went inward to connect with it, a certain line went inward. So inward, inward. Then at this point, we need to join them together here at this point too. Okay, so let's do that. The line that came inward here is this. So let's just try to make it bold. And also this. Okay. Now, if you are looking up, you will see a line here like this. You'll be able to see, if you are looking at it from the up, you'll be able to see this line from ear to ear. You'll also be able to see that line from ear to ear. So you'll be able to see it from ear to ear. Is ear. Okay? Ear. So from ear to ear. Don't forget when I was doing it earlier that from ear to ear is 9. From ear to ear is also 9, which means from ear to ear is 9. So this line from ear to ear it is the line from ear to ear. Okay. and also this from ear to ear, it is the line from ear to ear. So let's draw that. So we draw the line, make it bold, draw this one to make it bold. Okay, so let's do that. All right, then before I you will see that I don't just want to draw. You see that the line come inward like this. A line will have to come like this, but it does not come directly to join this. It came here to join there's a distance from ear to ear, and there's another distance from ear to somewhere around here before this line was being connected. Okay, so we need to know that the distance from ear to ear, the distance from ear to ear is 12. So from this middle line, I will measure 6 here to be able to get this point and this point. So from this middle line, 6 here, 6 downward to get the middle point. Okay, the midpoint. Okay, so so this is 5, this is 6. So this is 5, this is 6 here. Or we can see that y from ear to ear is 5. So this is also what? From ear to ear is 5. From ear to ear is 5. Why this is what? 6. I hope you can see that. Okay, so you can then join them together. Then connect this and this together. Good, good. So we have done with the side view. We have done with the side view. Okay, so last thing to draw is now the what? Sorry, we are done with the top view. So the last thing to draw is now the side view, which is this part. Now, the side view is when you are standing here and you are viewing it from this side. You are viewing it from this side. So if you are viewing it from this side, you'll be able to see, if you are viewing it from this side, you'll be able to see this one facing you, this one facing you, and this one is just like this. It's also facing you. Okay, and what about you also be able to see this one? This one is facing you, and the other one here is also facing you. That is all. And this one too is also facing you because it's doing two things there. If you are standing here, it's facing you at the same time facing up. So to do that, we need to know the total distance from the base here to the top, because from the base to the top is what? Is still the same thing as that 30 millimeters. Now look at this thing. Now it means the total distance is that, now the thickness first of all is 30, which means I will come here by 30. Okay, and then the height of everything from ear to ear, which is 24, and from here to here, which is 6. I explained earlier the reason why from here to here is 24, because from here to the end is what? Is 30. So from here to here is 24, from here to here is 6, which means from here to here plus from here to here, which is what? 30. So 30 like this, that is 30, and then the height is also what? 30, which means that I will come here by 30, come here by 30, 30. So let's do that. Let's measure 30 here. So this is 30. Okay, then let's draw it let's draw a vertical line and extend it upward. Okay, then so let's measure 30 millimeter downward too. We need to measure the 30 millimeter downward. Okay, so that is the 30 millimeter. And even if I don't want to draw it, suppose I've extended this line to the other side earlier, it would have also be 30 millimeters. So let's try to connect them together. Okay, then let me extend this line to the other side too. I've mentioned it earlier that we can be extending this line to the other side. Okay, so just follow that. Now the thickness from here to here represents from here to here. Okay, which is what, 6 millimeters. Don't forget earlier that from here to here, while I was drawing it, I said it's 6 millimeter. So automatically from here to here is 6 millimeter. Then you will see that from, if you are standing here now, from here to here, from here to here, from here to here, a certain line break them together, and the distance is what, a certain line divided them. The distance is what, 9 millimeters. So that is, I will measure 9 here, draw a line. Then from here to here is 12. I will also do what, I will also draw another line. I will also draw another line. So let's do that. 9 millimeter. So this is 9, and from that point let's measure 12. Okay, so let's join them with a thick line. First of all, I would like to draw it downward and to the other side. Okay, so let's make it bold. So then I've already done with this one. I'm done with this. Then from here to here, it means it's represent from here to here, and from here to here represent the other one from here to here. So we need to draw a line inward, a line inward, draw a line inward, a line inward. Okay, but before we draw that line inward, we need to get the middle of this point, so we'll be able to draw this line too. We need to draw this line because it's also facing here, but it will not look as if it is bent. It will look as if it is a straight line like this. Okay, so let's get the middle from here to here. We're told that the thickness is what, 30 millimeters. The thickness is 30 millimeters, so the middle will be what, 15. It will be 15 millimeters. So let's get the middle from here to here. So this is the middle here. Okay, and also let's do the same thing downward. So that is the middle. Okay, that is the middle. Since you have gotten the middle, then from the middle, you are standing here now, you are looking at it from the middle now, from here to here and from here to here, which is what, the thickness of 7. So 3.5 here, 3.5 here. So we draw a line, a thick line, which will represent this line. Okay, so let's measure out 3.5 here, 3.5 here. Okay, this line that I extended, I am not supposed to extend the line. Let me erase it so that it will not confuse you. Okay, so let's get the 3.5. 1 2 3, so this is 3.5. 1 2 3, this 3.5. Okay, so let's do the same thing here. 1 2 3, this 3.5. 1 2 3, this 3.5 here. 1 2 3, this 3.5 here. So let's the line we want to draw now represent these two lines. So let's make it bold. Okay, so let's make it bold. Then I can extend these two lines. This is the two line I'm supposed to extend upward. I will make from here to here bold. Then I will make the one upward to be thin. Okay, I will make from here to here to be bold. Then I can make this one thin. Okay, so let's just make, since we have drawn this line, so let's make from here to here, and from here to here, from here to here, and from here to here both. So from here to here, and also from here to here. Okay, so we have done with it. We have done with it. We are done with it. I don't think there's any other one. So we can just try to extend this line to the other side. Okay, we can extend this line to the other side, extend this, then draw a line to connect them together. Okay, so let's try to extend those lines. Let's try to extend those lines. So let's extend it to be a construction line. A construction line. So a construction line. All right. Then we can connect them together. We can connect them together. Can you see that? All right. One more thing to do is that, if you are looking at it from this side, you will see this, you will not be able to see this circle, but because the circle went inside, but it will look transparent. So from this same midpoint, which is this midpoint, and which represent this midpoint, okay? So we are going to represent with a broken line from that midpoint, which is this point, 75 here, 75 here. So we represent a broken lines. Okay, so let's do that. That is the last thing, and then we dimension the work. Dimension it. So from that midpoint, this 5, this 6, this 7, this 7.5. So this is 5, 6, 7. This is also 7.5. Okay, and let's do the same thing here. This is 5, 6, 7. This is also 7.5. And from here to here is 5, 6, 7. This is 7.5. So we connect them with a broken line. Connect them together with a broken line. Connect them with a broken line. Let's draw it to reach the down part here. So this is what we have after you have done with the dimension. This is how to dimension it. This is it. Okay, what will you do now? Why can't you share this video with your friend? Share with them, share to groups, all your platform. Let others benefit from this. And do well to watch out my other videos on orthography, maybe on first angle, third angle, on tangency, and some others, isometric as well. Do well to check them and play around with them. Okay. Thank you so much for watching.